Okay, here we go. Jake, what do you call this contraption?
Well, I'm going to call it the cradle. Unless it doesn't work, and then that's just a working title for now. But in theory, the rope stretched out this way should allow this to swing down like a cradle and not allow the limb to actually drop down to the roof or the ground.
Or launch you off the bluff to the creek below.
I mean, I'm just standing on the ground here. I don't expect to be launched anywhere, but we'll see.
Whoa! That's doing stuff.
Okay. Seems to be supported so far.
I hear the sounds.
That's it, baby!
It's another beautiful rainy morning on the farm. Morning, Emmett. Oh. Buddy's already having a morning smoke. You're doing great, Emmett. Peaches in regalia. Frank Zappa was most certainly writing about this. Stunning. There are little paintings in there. Hi, guys.
Hey.
You look like adventurers. What'd you get, Eleanor?
Scramble. I got scramble. And I got a fishing bag and some bullets.
Whoa.
And I got this stick.
You guys look awesome.
And Eric let me
So
borrow
cool.
his jacket.
Totally ready for adventure. And you got some treasure.
Wow, look at this.
So happy.
Look at this.
What is that?
That's a back in the day mixer.
A back in the day mixer. Eleanor, very good
It
job.
doesn't work.
Sure it does. Turn that. A little rusty. You imagine making mashed potatoes with that?
No, imagine making mashed potatoes with this.
That is what that's for.
I know.
You guys are pretty smart.
And there's a back in the day piano.
Let's try to
TV.
play.
This is a whole back in the day house.
Guys, let's try to play back in. I'm surprised this thing still works.
Luke is chopping a tree down with a hammer.
Can you cut this, Eric?
Why don't you hit it with your hammer?
With this part? Well, that's out of my right now.
How's this working for you?
Good.
Well, you've definitely got a lot of drive and stick-to-itiveness. I admire that.
You're putting all of them. Yeah, because I want them to be close to me so I can pet them. Hey. Hi, girls. Why are they eating O's? I know. Good dog. Oh, not this dog.
Hey, lower your hands down, Luke. Let him see.
Eric, can I go get some more?
Sure. Oh, you guys got to move slow. There you go.
Scares me. Aww. So cute. There's little. I think they're. Another one. Nope. Eric only did another one because I forgot to do something.
She's sketching him in the air.
No, I'm not done. If it's tilting, I just tilt it back.
Is it still child labor if it's unpaid?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Did you get it?
I got it.
Okay.
Luke, you want to try it?
Yeah.
Give me your best Tarzan.
Move.
Dang, boy. You're a monkey. I'm having a new issue out at the farm, and we're going to call it Operation North Shore. All along the northern border of the farm, where it edges up against the creek, is an area that I've traditionally called the swamp. It's a really low-lying and dense forested area that is underwater for about a week every year, and it leaves behind a lot of mud and puddles, thus the swamp moniker. However, there are also a lot of old wood roads that run around in those woods, and people come up from the creek on four-wheelers and dune buggies, and they ride those trails, which is our private land. It's not fenced off, but I put signs up. People tore the signs down. Now, why don't I want them in there? Well, they litter everywhere. Every time I go down there, there's trash, there's fast food trash, there's bottles and cans, broken glass, all kinds of shit, all in our woods. We don't want that there. And I don't know who's doing it. I've tried to run down there as much as I can. I've caught people in there numerous times, but it's always different people. And they always say the same thing. Sorry, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to be here. I didn't destroy your signs. I'll never come back. But I'm always catching different people. And because it's the far northern end of the farm, I can't just run out there every time. I can't always hear what's going on out there or see it. And if I jump in the truck and run out there, it's a good 10-15 minutes round trip by the time I've gotten out there, walked down to where the people are. Hopefully I find them in time. They haven't left. I talk to them, get in the truck, come back. It's tough, and I'm not always home to catch them. So I really just want to close off access. I tried, like I said, putting up no trespassing signs. People tore my signs down. I put up simple timber barriers that I built with like logs and trees. People tore those down. I put up metal no trespassing signs that were screwed into trees. And somebody came around within a week of me putting them up with a claw hammer and ripped down all but 2 of them and beat holes in them so I couldn't put them back up. No idea who this was. So people have said, why don't you put cameras out there? Well, there's no cell service and there's no Wi-Fi. We're way out of range for either of those things. So I could put like solar powered or battery powered game cameras up, which are motion activated, but they have to store the information on a memory card. What I'm worried with about that is that I'm going to invest a bunch of money in memory cards and game cameras, and then if somebody wants to, they can either just destroy the camera or steal it entirely or take the memory card out, and I can't do anything about it. Best case scenario is I get images of someone tearing down my signs and borders. Hopefully it's a high resolution image enough that I can take it to the police, or that I catch maybe I get the vehicle in frame. Hopefully I get some information and I can take that video to the police. But my experience with law enforcement out here has not been great. In the 2 years I've been out here, neither the Stillwell Police nor the Adair County Sheriff's Department seem to give a shit about what's going on out in Piney. Neither one of them seem interested in helping me. I've called them both numerous times. They just don't give a shit. So I can't rely on that. I need to make it impossible, or I need to make it a losing equation for people to want to get on those trails. So my thought is put up a barbed wire fence, but again, it's pretty easy for somebody to come along and cut down my barbed wire fence. So I have settled on the idea of having a chainsaw crew come out and just drop heavy trees all over those wood roads and trails and all around that North Shore border, and just drop whole heavy trees to the point where if somebody wanted to get a vehicle in there or wanted to ride those trails, they would have to basically bring out their own chainsaw crew to clear the trails. And then obviously that is something I would probably hear from the house and be able to run out and be like, what the hell are you doing? So I figure once I get all those timbers dropped, maybe I can even stimulate the forest to grow back in and close up some of those trails. And then maybe I can think about putting up signs or a fence. But right now, every time I spend money to put something up, someone just vandalizes it. And I don't have the manpower or the money to be playing a game of like, what will you and won't you steal or break? So I'm settling on dropping heavy timber all over the trails. I'm open to suggestion or help. I almost forgot to tell you the shittiest part of the whole story, which was last time I went down there to find that someone had torn down all the metal signs that I put up. They also left a camping toilet. If you've ever seen one of those collapsible camping toilets that's basically a plastic bucket on a metal chair frame, somebody set one of those up on my land and filled it with shit and then just left it all for me to discover later, like toilet shit and all, just left it all for me. Why wouldn't you just poop on the ground? You're already out in the woods. I don't know. Add that to the list of reasons why somebody has ruined it for everyone and I have to close up the four-wheeler trails. So I just went into town and I had a conference with my grandma, who knows everyone in town. She's 90 years old and she knows everybody and everybody knows her. And then the guy who owns the local hardware store, who kind of also knows most of the contractors and workers and has a general idea of what's going on in the area, and everybody respects him. Great guy. I myself go to him every time I have a question about fixing the house. Grandma says that basically Grandpa has had problems with Creek people disrespecting that north border for as long as they've lived there. And the cops have never helped. They've never wanted to worry about it. Dustin, the owner of the hardware store, pretty much echoed everything my grandma said. But he does think that like cutting down all the large trees and just making it really difficult to navigate that land is probably the best idea I've got. So if any heroes out there have some free time and own a chainsaw and you want to come stay out at Adair Farm for a free vacation in exchange for cutting down a bunch of trees, let me know. We're not trying to cut the trees up into firewood. We're not trying to drag them anywhere. This is literally just chainsaw party. Cut down the biggest trees you can find and let them fall across the road. And we just keep doing that until it becomes impossible for people to infiltrate the border. One person asked me, why don't you just scatter a bunch of nails all over the road, all over the trails? And then, you know, people would come down and destroy their tires and pretty quickly learn that they shouldn't ride those trails. Believe me, I wish I could. That I really do, especially when I found that toilet filled with poo. I wanted to create all kinds of like Predator, Home Alone style booby traps out there. But not only is that illegal, I don't want a bunch of angry crackheads and meth heads with, you know, flat tire dune buggies stuck on my land, because then they're going to be walking up to my house asking to use the phone, or pissed at me because they had a flat tire with a nail in it, or they're going to be calling a bunch of meth head buddies to come out and tow them out, which means now I've multiplied my problem, so that one dune buggy full of meth heads turns into multiple as they are trying to solve the first meth heads issue. I don't want to do that. I want to be polite, but I want to be firm about my borders, and I just want to make it physically impossible to navigate them. I don't want to cause anyone harm or frustration. I just want to mitigate my own frustration, and I want to mitigate the damage that people are doing to the land.